The Lost Compass. Long ago, before GPS and satellite maps, before cruise ships dotted the oceans, there was a legend whispered along the docks and in the shadowy corners of seaside taverns. It spoke of a mysterious island called Isla del Silencio, Island of Silence. An island that did not appear on any map. A place that emerged from the sea only once every 10 years, cloaked in a veil of mist and surrounded by treacherous reefs, sharp enough to splinter the strongest hull. Many had sought the island. None had returned. Calla Thorne had grown up with stories of Isla del Silencio. Her father, Captain Elias Thorne, was an explorer and adventurer, known for charting forgotten coasts and uncovering ancient ruins. But he vanished 10 years ago during his final voyage. A ship returned without him, the crew either missing or maddened by the journey. Now 18, Calla lived alone above a dusty bookshop in the harbor town of Winmore. One rainy afternoon, while sorting through the attic, she discovered an old sea chest with her father's initials carved into the lid. Inside lay a moth-eaten coat, a few maps, a rusted spyglass and a strange compass without a needle, wrapped in oilcloth. Beneath it, she found a folded parchment with her father's unmistakable handwriting. To Calla, when the time comes, follow the compass that does not point. Trust your heart. The gold whispers, but the truth roars. Unfolding the map beneath the note, Calla's breath caught. It showed a landmass shaped like a crescent moon, with the words Isla del Silencio scrawled across it in red ink. The ink was smeared, but the route was marked. A shiver ran down her spine. This wasn't just about treasure. Her father had left her a path to the island, and maybe to the truth of his disappearance. Calla knew she couldn't do this alone. She needed a crew she could trust. First, she found Finn Merrick, a bright, clever cartographer known for mapping the Arch of Tempests with only a spyglass and a canoe. He had a knack for reading the stars and an irreverent sense of humor. "Treasure map from your dad's ghost? I'm in," he grinned. Next was Jaya Rook, a survivalist who had once spent 6 months in the Thornwoods alone and returned stronger. Quiet, resourceful, and fiercely protective, she didn't speak much, but Calla knew she had her reasons. Last came Old Tom, a weathered sailor who walked with a limp and smelled of seaweed. He claimed he had once seen Isla del Silencio and watched it vanish into mist like a dream. Most people called him mad. Calla called him on board. They took Elias Thorne's old ship, the Wraith, a schooner made for speed and agility, and set sail under a moonless sky. For weeks they crossed oceans, following riddles written in the margins of the map. Each night, the compass spun wildly, pointing nowhere, and yet somehow always led them closer. Then, one morning, as dawn broke through heavy fog, the island rose from the sea. Dark cliffs, black sands, silence so heavy it pressed against their ears. They anchored in a cove lined with statues, weathered stone figures with eyes that seemed to follow them. As they stepped onto the shore, the jungle greeted them with unnatural quiet. The air was thick with the scent of moss, and twisted vines clung to ancient stone pillars, carved with symbols none of them recognized. Deeper in, they discovered ruins, broken walls, shattered idols, and, at the center of the island, a towering stone temple covered in glowing lichen. At its base was a door with a compass-shaped indentation. Calla's fingers trembled as she placed her father's compass into the groove. The temple opened. Inside, they faced a labyrinth of challenges, traps, illusions, and riddles. In one chamber, Finn saw endless piles of treasure and rushed forward only to fall into a pit of illusions. It was Jaya who pulled him back, reminding him that not everything that glitters is gold. Another room showed Jaya visions of her past, a family lost in fire, a younger version of herself alone in the wilderness. Only when she forgave herself did the path open. Old Tom wandered off alone and returned with tears in his eyes. "She forgave me," he whispered, but wouldn't say who. Calla followed a whisper through a maze of mirrors until she came upon a chamber with a single stone pedestal. Upon it rested a scroll with her name etched in gold. It was a letter. "My dearest Calla, if you find this, you've done what few could. I stayed to guard the treasure, not of gold, but of knowledge. The compass does not point, because the heart must choose its way. If you are reading this, I am proud of you." A shadow stepped into the torchlight. It was him, Elias Thorne, older, thinner, but alive. Their embrace broke the silence of 10 years. Calla's father explained everything. The island was protected by an ancient force, neither curse nor blessing, but a test of intention. Many came seeking gold. Few came seeking truth. He had chosen to stay when he realized the power the treasure held could destroy nations if it fell into the wrong hands. Together, they took only a single chestnut filled with gold, but scrolls, relics, and forgotten knowledge. As they sailed away, the island began to disappear behind them, fading into mist. Back home, Calla turned the story into a book not for glory, but to inspire the next generation of explorers. "The true treasure," she wrote, "is not what you find, but what you become along the way." And far out in the sea, beneath waves and fog, Isla del Silencio waits for the next worthy heart. Subscribe my channel and comment below your ideas about story.